What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel here, and today we're going to be reacting to a very interesting clip. So this one is from the Lana Rhodes podcast, okay? So if you don't know who Lana Rhodes is, she was formerly in the adult entertainment industry, and she retired when she had her first child. She also have seen her a lot on YouTube because she was dating Mike Malak, of course, who's from the Logan Paul podcast. And she has, after she kind of like gave up that previous life, she went ahead and went into started like doing podcasting and has this episode on YouTube here. It's a clip of an episode where her and her co-host are going over why women like to date older men. So here on the Modern Male Insight Show, we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and watch the clip, right? I'm going to go ahead and give you my breakdown of what they really mean, because they're not wrong when they say that women do like dating older men, but the reasons that they give are kind of like, they give them in the women terms or female terms. So I'll go ahead and break it down here for us guys and give you a little more information on it.
Mine is from Stelios.
So here's a clip here.
Macredemus. So he said, why do girls like older guys? Well, I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory because guys do mature a lot slower than girls do. So, but if you don't think that way, I don't know. I've dated guys that are younger than me and older than me, but I think it is just the maturity level and just more experience. Because you kind of do want someone who has like more experience or like life experience that you would want to be with.
Okay, so let's go ahead and break down what the first co-host said, right? So she first said it's kind of self-explanatory as to why females like to date older men, right? Then she goes on to say that you kind of want somebody who has more experience than you. Gentlemen, what she actually means here is women want somebody who have more resources than them. More resources to, that could be money, maybe boats, yachts, and whatever that may be, that, kind of assets that guy has. So that's what they mean when they're saying somebody with more experience, because they don't just mean life experience, right? Because I just say somebody who has more life experience and they're 50 years old and still got a roommate, and you know what I mean? So like, that's not what they mean. They mean somebody who can present them a different kind of lifestyle that's not what they're used to living right now. So that's what she means by more life experience, okay? And another example is that the women are going to be looking for somebody who, again, can provide an experience that they are not used to, both financially and also physically. So that could mean somebody who, let's just say, for example, if a guy who's a little bit older tends to maybe take his fitness a little bit more seriously, that's what they mean, as opposed to maybe a younger guy who isn't necessarily developed their physique just yet.
Yeah, I've only had two boyfriends, and they're both like the exact same age as me within a few months. Yeah. So I've never experienced older guys, but I have had friends that have had successful relationships with guys that were older than them because they had already went through their fuckboy stage and were ready to settle down and
so I think that's like a bias thing.
All right, so real quick, she's now talking into the microphone. It's too difficult for her. But here's the thing: she said that she's never actually dated older guys. The two boyfriends that she's had have been her exact same age, right? So not all the women are going to tend to date older guys. A majority of them are, but not all of them. Some do kind of value being with someone their own age that they can, potentially go through the same kind of life experience at the same time. It's not necessarily important for them to be with somebody who's more mature or a little bit older than them.
Like, I don't think all girls like older guys. I personally have been going for younger people just because sometimes if they're really old and they're still single, you have to kind of question why are they single.
Yeah, I've only dated guys 10 plus years older than me since I was
okay. So this is Lana Rhodes. So she just said that she's only dated guys 10 plus years older than her. Only. So let's just say, for example, if we're talking, keeping everything legal here, if she started dating at 18, that means that her boyfriend potentially was 28 years or older. So she's only been, so she's kind of like maybe on one extreme where she's only dated older guys.
18. All of them have been in their 30s. I've found found that it might just be my selection and I need to be more picky in the future. They've had a lot of baggage. Not necessarily having kids or ex-wives or anything. All of them had been, just single men up until that point, and also had not been in relationships for a very long time, as you guys know.
Okay, so she's saying that a lot of the guys that she's dating, the ones that she decided to get in relationships with, they haven't had baggage of children from other women or things like that. They've always been just older and single, is what she's saying.
My ex, also my ex before that, and my ex before that, I was like their first girlfriend in like a decade. So I don't know if it's just my poor selection, but I've noticed the older men.
Okay, so now she's talking about how she's, make men who don't get normally into relationships get into relationships. We get it, Lana. Move on.
It means that they have a lot of trauma issues or baggage.
Yeah. Or it's just because some guys went through 10 years partying, hooking up with girls, doing whatever, and then they're ready to. They have a successful career in life and they're ready to settle down. That could be the case.
That's
it's
ideal.
Either or. Yeah.
Okay. So, what did they just say, right? She said another option is, maybe they don't have the baggage of being an older guy by that age and things like that, or what they determine as baggage. But she's saying another situation is a guy who's just focused on, partying and career in his 20s, now hits his 30s, is looking to settle down. So what is Lana, who just said that she's, trapped different guys and guys who don't even do relationships, get relationships with her, she just said that's ideal. So women are potentially looking for guys who are, just partying in their 20s and building, and then they're looking to settle down in their 30s. So that's why a lot of the times women are going to be looking for guys who are at 30 or older. Because here's the thing, guys. When you're still very young, like one of my, let's just say you're a younger guy, maybe 25 and younger, you're still building, figuring out how you're going to make your money, what opportunities you're going to explore, and things like that. So that's still going to be going on a lot in your 20s, early 20s, up until even 30, right, guys? And then by then, hopefully you have some sort of path or avenue that you're potentially going to be exploring a little bit more and growing in your 30s, and then also by your 40s, hopefully everything's kind of already figured out, and now you're kind of, in that next kind of phase. But that's what they mean here, guys. So if you're still kind of figuring things out, still in your 20s, that's perfectly fine. But that's maybe why you're having a little bit more trouble with the women, because, again, they're already looking up. Because remember, guys, women are going to date up and over. They're looking for guys who are going to provide a different kind of lifestyle experience for them. As far as when they're ready to actually date. That's not saying that that's who the only guys are going to sleep with. They're going to sleep with anybody. But as far as when they want to settle down and look for that guy who's going to be that provider for them, that's what they're looking for. So don't worry about if you're still, focusing on yourself and building up in your, 20s and even early 30s. But that eventually you will start to notice that once you do hit 30 and over, the attention is going to be a lot more on you, because now you have a lot more resources available. So that's my little insight here for this clip, guys. I really appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe like the video and subscribe to the channel, and also leave a comment if you want. And go ahead and watch the next video for some more insight here. So thanks again for watching, guys. Appreciate it, and see you in the next one.